So people always ask us how we can afford to go to Disney so much, and there's no real one answer. So I've decided to put together a bunch of videos because it's just easier to answer that way instead of having to answer it over and over and over. If you're interested in going to Disney, or you've already been to Disney and you just want to know a better way to save money or a new way to save money, just be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get an update on all the different videos that I'm going to put out. This video, I want to talk about the planning, and honestly, that's probably where I save the most money, is because I'm trying to plan each and every different thing out, and we're talking about the big things, the travel, the hotel, the food, things like that. I mean, this is where all the big expenses are coming in. So I'm gonna kind of go down the list and tell you the different things that we do, and how we do the travel and how we get to Disney. The biggest money savings that you can get is to go off season, because your hotels are usually cheaper, your flights are usually cheaper, even the park tickets are cheaper. So off season is definitely the probably biggest way to save the most money. When we did the driving before, the one thing I always like to do was I like to know pretty much my budget on how much it was going to cost me to get down there and how much it was going to cost to get back. So Gas Buddy is probably one of the best ways to be able to set your budget on that. It will give you an idea, well, not just an idea, it will actually tell you, how much gas is in certain areas. Another way to save a bunch of money on gas is you can use like your rewards points. Like, I know my husband, he is a member of Speedway, so he has Speedy rewards, and he can use those rewards, and he can turn it in for a gift card or whatever, but it will give him a gift card for Speedway, so we can get free gas that way. Well, Kroger's also tied into Shell gas station, so if I go to Kroger and I'm buying just my regular groceries like I always do, I'm not spending any more. I'm not trying to rack up reward points or anything like that, and I don't advise you to do that, because you're just spending money to save money, and it just really doesn't make much sense. Okay, let's switch over to flights, and there's ways that you can save money there. We tend to, well, not tend to, we always fly Frontier because it's a no frills airline, so I'm not paying for all the extras. Granted, it's not necessarily a luxury, but I'm not going for luxury. I'm looking for a way to get down there, and I'm looking for a way to get back, and I want to do it as cheap as possible. Most of your different airlines, they also offer their very own credit cards, and so if you usually there's like an initial sign up, and if you sign up, you're going to get 60,000 bonus miles, and if you spend $500 within the first 3 months, you get 60 to 80,000 miles. We don't use the credit card for anything other than our average spending. So, say we signed up for a Frontier credit card so that we could get, 60 or 80,000 bonus miles. I wouldn't I wouldn't be spending $500 and just going on a $500 shopping spree. I would pay, my electric bill, or maybe do my grocery shopping, or just the regular things that I'm going to be paying for anyway. Another way you can save money on flights is gift cards. There's a lot of different times throughout the year, especially around Christmas time, where gift cards will go on sale. The earlier you can start planning, the better. The problem is if you start booking those flights, 6 months to a year ahead of time, you are going to be paying premium price. So, I usually do 1 to 3 months, and I figure out about when we're going to go, and then, or I will set my hotel date, and actually the flight is the last thing that I book. Don't just keep looking at the same flight over and over again. If you're going to do that, use the private button, and I think it's Control Enter P, maybe something like that, but it'll pop up a different screen, and then you're searching privately, and the airline doesn't know who it is that's searching, and do all your searching on a private page, pop-up thing, whatever. Do all your searching on there, and then when you actually go to book, you can do it on your regular page that you would normally, it doesn't have to be in private. But every time that you look for a deal, like say you're looking to fly from Cincinnati to Orlando and you're checking it, every week or a couple times a week or whatever, the cookies that are in your computer just keep storing all of that up. So they know you're looking for a hotel flight to Orlando. And I've had it happen before where I wanted to go book, and by the time I actually went to book, the price had went up, $20 to $60 per flight. There's car rentals that are right there in the airport terminal, and then there's ones that they take you from a shuttle, they take you over to their company. That's where you get the car, and then when you drop the car off, they shuttle you back to the airport. And it's quite a big savings if you go off-site. So if it's about money, you're definitely probably going to want to go with the off-site thing, because you can save, up to hundreds of dollars just by going off-site. When you go to rent a car, they want to tack on their insurance, which is pretty expensive. So if you're going to use a credit card to use it, your credit card will actually cover, and be sure to read your credit card, because not all credit card companies do it, but a lot of the bigger ones do, like Chase Freedom and Bank of America, things like that. They already have insurance. So if you're paying for the rental car with your Chase Freedom card, the insurance is already covered, so you don't have to pay that extra premium insurance price. And don't forget to ask for discounts. I'm not necessarily good at it, but my husband, this is where he comes in, because he's great. He's always asking for discounts, whether it's AAA, he's even asked for AARP, which, we don't get, but he's asked for their employee discounts. And it doesn't hurt to try, maybe they're in a good mood and they'll get a discount. If nothing else, maybe they'll get you an upgrade, but always be sure to ask for the discounts. Okay, another thing I want to cover in this video is the hotel. And that's probably going to be one of your big expenses. And there's ways to minimize that expense too. There's what they call offsite, which means that it is at a non-Disney property. And then there's obviously Disney property. Now with Disney property, the one big benefit you have with staying on site on a Disney site is the fact that there is a Magical Express. So if you're flying in, you don't have to worry about a car rental. You don't have to get all that. They take you don't even have to pick up your own luggage or anything. You just get off the plane, you go to Magical Express, they take you to your room, and then, a couple hours later or whatever, your luggage just all magically appears, and so you don't have the cost of the car rental insurance. So that's some of the huge savings. And there's different ranges of the Disney property itself. So if, which what we're talking about right now is budget, so look at some of the budget, look at some of the budget ones, like All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies, there's a bunch of different ones, so just be sure if you are wanting to stay at Disney, just do your research, and plan it out. And there's a lot of times, again, when you go off season, it's a whole lot cheaper. And then they also offer other discounts, like maybe free dining. Now that we talked about staying on site, which is a Disney hotel, let's switch over and talk about staying off site, which is non-Disney. And there's a bunch of different ways you can save money here too. There's these hotel coupon books, and like when we drive, as soon as we get into a new state, we pull over to the first rest stop, and then there's all kinds of coupon books and stuff out there. Just as soon as you get into Florida, pull one of those coupon books out, and you don't have to go to the rest area. A lot of the gas stations will have them too, or, a lot of the visitor centers, places like that. But they have these hotel booklets, and you open them up and you search for the area that you're in, and, Orlando, Disney, there's a bunch of different coupons in there. One of my favorite ways of saving money on a hotel is by using the points. And again, we're talking about the credit card points. And the different brands also have their, just like the airlines, they have their own credit card. My husband has an IHG card, which covers all of the basically the Holiday Inn, Holiday Inn Express, you know, their whole group. We did the sign up, I get bonus. Again, did the exact same thing. We didn't spend any more. We didn't go on a shopping spree or anything like that. We just paid our monthly bills with it. You know, the groceries, everything that we would normally be spending, we spent, you know, we just used the card instead. And we got bonus points. With the IHG, is probably one of the better ones in my opinion, because every year you get a free night stay. You know, it's called an anniversary night. And, you know, even though the IHG costs $49 a year, you know, for the annual fee, you know, depending on where you stay, that $49, I mean, try to find a hotel that's $49. That's pretty nice. And another thing with saving offsite is a lot of those hotel chains, they offer breakfast. They offer continental breakfast and stuff like that. So that's another way to save money, because you're not having to go out to eat for breakfast because it's already provided for you. You can actually stay on site and you can buy DVC points, which is the Disney Vacation Club. A lot of their members, they don't plan on using it, or, you know, they have extra points built up, so they sell their points to these companies. You know, make sure that you're getting a good reputable company. But you can buy the DVC points and you can stay at Disney property hotels for, you know, and even get a condo, you know, with a full kitchen that you're going to be able to cook. Again, you're going to save a lot of money that way. But you can get these big condos for, you know, the price you're going to pay for a lot of hotels. Another way to save money, and I know you guys have heard me say this, I don't even know how many times, but it really is true, and that's the food. You can just save so much money, because if you're going out to eat every single day for every single meal, it can get really expensive. And I don't know about your family, but I know, like with us, I can only eat out so many days before I'm just sick of it. You know, I just want real food. I want regular food. If you're staying at a hotel, you know, and you only have a little refrigerator and a microwave, there is a bunch of different recipes and a bunch of different things you can make in the microwave. I know you don't want to be spending your whole entire vacation cooking for your whole family, but if you could just cook, you know, a meal here, a meal there, you know, maybe one meal a day, it's going to save you a lot of money. It doesn't take that much longer to plan all of that out to keep you from overspending on that food, because you don't want to get like caught up in the moment and be like, you know, okay, well, the closest restaurant here is, you know, this steak place, you know, let's just eat there. When had you done your homework, you would have realized, you know, well, I could have went just right around the corner, you know, 3 blocks down, and we could have got a Subway or Burger King, or, you know, pizza, you know, something that was a little bit more affordable for your family. Okay, another part of the planning that you can do is, if you're pre-buying, you know, your gift cards, or, you know, you're paying for your hotel ahead of time, if you're doing all these things ahead of time, then it's already paid for. So that's one less worry that you're going to have while you're down there. And, you know, it takes a lot off your mind, and you're able to enjoy it a little bit more. So the planning part is where you're going to save the most money. So make sure whatever you do, and if you're going to skimp on anything, make sure you're not skimping on the planning of the trip, because that's going to save you the most money. I'm going to have more videos that's going to go through other things and different ways to save your money. So be sure to like and subscribe. And some of these videos are going to work for your family. Some of them aren't, you know, maybe just a part of it is. But every little bit that we do, that's more money we can save. And the more magical it's going to be for, you know, all of us, because, you know, even the kids are it's going to be magical for them anyway. To be honest with you, the more money we save, the more magical it is for me, because I don't have that vacation remorse afterwards. And that is like one of the worst feelings, especially coming from Disney, you know, where everything is just so wonderful. And then you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, how much money did I just spend? You know, so if you're doing all the planning and saving all the money, it just makes it a little bit more magical for everybody. So I just want everybody to understand that we can all afford to go to Disney. You know, we just do things a little differently. So I hope these videos are helping you, and be sure to look for my other ones.